Didier and I were just talking about, well, actually we're talking about the dinner that Didier's cooking tonight for a nice wedding, a nice marriage, and Master Chef Didier Leroy was nice enough to invite me to come and screw it up and make a few mistakes and allow me to interfere with his dinner. And at the same time, we were talking about, sadly, a growing concept these days, which is the concept of children who are being alienated when one parent turns or is accused of turning the children against the other parent, and it seems to be becoming more and more prevalent. And Didier and I often talk about children. He's very close to my two boys, and he's in many ways like a second father or an uncle to them. And I always appreciate his views on children and how we should treat them.
Yeah, for sure. I think the children are tomorrow's world, you know, they're the future. And I think it's very important for even, you know, Peter's job to help the people to be able to guide the kids for tomorrow. Unfortunately, there's a lot of challenged people. Sometimes they have kids, but they don't really know what to do, you know, how to manage. But I think mainly it's because so that we have 2 ears, 1 mouth to be able to listen where they want to be. They don't really care much about where we come from. What they care about is how they will be guided and make sure they don't do too many mistakes. That's really the job of a parent, not really to destroy. When you have a family, even if you want to be separated, I think it's very important to be friends. But it's really about management and how to manage, even to see the world tomorrow, because that's what your kids are. They're tomorrow's world.
Yeah, and sadly what's happening now often is you see either one parent deciding to turn the children against another. That concept is called alienation, and that's becoming more and more prevalent. But there's also the concept of logical estrangement, where some other parent behaves badly and the children decide, no, I don't want to have anything to do with that parent. Views and preferences of the child now are becoming more and more considered. I have a few cases going right now where the children on their own, 14, 15, 16, have decided to pick up the phone, call their own lawyer and say, listen, I don't want to be involved in this battle between my parents. I want my parents to respect one another and to stop putting us, me, my brothers, my sisters, in the middle of the war. They become the weapons in the war. Well, many people don't remember or don't understand that their children love them equally. Unless a parent is an axe murderer or a child molester, chances are those children love each parent equally. And the parents sometimes forget that. This battle of burn the town and kill the people, the children are the casualties of war, is sometimes tragic. And these are the cases that turn into the $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 cases with therapists and child psychologists and experts who are involved, because then the children, they become stressed, they become depressed, they become suicidal. Very, very difficult.
Yeah, one of the biggest problems for youth today is anxiety. No? Mm-hmm. They're anxious. And
yeah, they're very anxious.
Because they are misguided. They don't have any even educator too much. A lot of teacher, but nobody really will educate.
Well, I was saying to a couple of people in a mediation not long ago, I said, imagine for a moment if you two were still happily married and you're walking down the street together and some thief or some criminal jumps out from a dark corner and starts attacking either the mother or the father. And of course the children will expect the other parent to protect them. And instead the other parent steps back and says, hey, this is good, hit them again, hit them again. This is what happens when parents attack one another in the eyes of the children. Yeah, and it's becoming a very prevalent problem in litigation. I probably have 6 or 7 of those cases going on that right now across the province. Wow. And they drag on, they're difficult. They often start when the children are 12, 13. They end when the children are 15, 16, 17. These children become damaged goods for life. People sometimes forget that in their desire to dig a grave for the other person.
And even they have to deal with all of this situation today in the world.
Well, it's difficult. Look, COVID. I mean, I'm aware of a case going on right now where 2 doctors, husband and wife, have 2 children. He or she is pro-vaccine and the other is anti-vaccine. 2 medical doctors. These people have actually separated now over the question of whether or not to vaccinate their children. What a disaster for this family. And the question, of course, here isn't whether it's pro or anti-vaccine, which seems to be a prevalent question these days in the minds of our politicians, but how it has ripped a family asunder over an inability to sit down and try to calmly either come to a conclusion or understand that both of these parents are in a great sea of trouble over this same question and come together instead of rip one another apart.
I think in Canada, at least, we should have the freedom of speech in some ways. It should be free.
Not always.
But to accept that what people talk about or what they want to do, I think everything starts with respect. But I think if people don't respect themselves, it's very difficult to respect
And
somebody.
communication.
I've been in a situation like that a long time ago. Never ends. You have to decide to end it for the kids.
That's it.
It's just after that is an ego issue. That's it.
That's true. That's true. Voilà. Santé.
Cheers.